How's it going? It's Ethan here at eTrailer. Right now we're going to be taking a quick look at the Titan Chain Twist Link Snow Tire Chains on our 2021 Ford F-150. These are going to be on tire size 275/65 R18. Make sure you check the fit guide on our website to get the right fit for your tire. Also, we have them on the rear axle as per the owner's manual. Always a good idea to double check that to make sure you're getting the chains on the right axle for your truck. But these are going to be a great in-between option as far as grip goes. So if you live in an area that gets a decent amount of moderate snow and light ice pretty frequently, you want chains that are going to get you bite without being huge and high profile and giving you that bumpy feeling. These would be a great option, so let's check them out. The chains are going to be in a ladder pattern, which means they go straight across the tire parallel to one another. That's usually going to help a lot with starting and stopping, and typically with those we'll find that you get a little bit more high profile and you get more bumpiness, but that's where these twist links come in. So as you can see, the links are twisted into one another rather than being just square connected, which will give us better traction in the case of the square links, but with these we do get decent traction, but we do get a little bit of a lower profile, so we're going to feel them less while we're moving. The links are also made of a low carbon steel, which isn't great for longevity compared to some alloy style chains, but for the case of these chains being an entry-level sort of way to get a good amount of traction, that'll do just fine. The chains come two to a set in this lightweight canvas bag. It's got a plastic liner on the inside, so it does an okay job of keeping our chains in one piece, but the bag itself is very prone to rips, especially if you leave it in your car and you start getting the hooks or the connection points of the links stuck in there. These rip up pretty quickly, so if you go with these chains, I would recommend picking up something a little bit bigger and more robust to keep them in, just to be safe. Also, we'll take a closer look at this rubber tensioner in the install portion, but we do recommend using one of these just to keep things a little bit more secure while you're moving. All in all, the install portion of this video and the install process in general isn't too difficult. We will have to get down and around the back to make that connection unless you choose to roll onto the tires, which is also an option. In either case though, it's not too terribly difficult, but we recommend maybe trying it out in your garage before you find yourself stranded on the side of the road trying to figure it out. If you'd like though, we'll walk you through that process right now. For the install, first thing we like to do is just lay the chains out flat. We want to make sure that nothing is caught up or twisted together or tangled. In our case, we want to make sure that this hook is on the side facing us, so that's the first thing we're going to check out. Next, we want to make sure the chains are facing the right way. To do that, we'll look at this hook section at the end of each set of links. We want to make sure that we have this flat side facing down or facing the tread of the tire. We'd rather have that than these hooks rubbing up against it. From here, just take a second to make sure that everything is pretty centered up, and then we'll start by grabbing these links here in the back and draping the chains over our tire. Doing our best to make sure that everything stays even, front to back and side to side. It's just going to make our life a lot easier once we get to the back side to make our first connection, which we can go ahead and do now. It's just a matter of fitting one of these loose links on the side into this hook. So in our case, I'll probably just go for the first one for now because I'm a little worried about the front side connection being the right length. So for now, we're going to go with the front one, but I can come back and adjust that if I need to. Now for our front side connection, we're going to use this hook. I'm going to go for the second link on this side here, and we're just going to fit the hook in the top of that there and slide it down, and then we'll lever this arm backwards and fit it into this other loose link on the side where the hook came from. From here, we do have everything on and in place, but I'm going to go ahead and put on one of these rubber tensioners. I'm going to do it similar to how I would put a tire on or take it off, making sure the hooks are facing out and going from bottom to top, left to right, just to make sure that once we move and the chains start bouncing along and shifting as we drive, this tensioner is in place just to keep things a little bit more secure. Once we have that tensioner in place, we're going to repeat this process for our passenger side tire as well. Then we're going to roll forward or backwards a few feet just to make sure that everything stays on, it's in place, and that it's secure, and then you're ready to hit the road. So just to reiterate, these chains are going to be an in-between as far as link sizes go. So you can downgrade if you want and get something like a roller style chain if you just live in an area where you need an emergency case chain, or you can upgrade to some square links, which are going to be a little bit bumpier, a little noisier, but they're going to get you a lot more traction. These are going to be a good combination where you get that traction on ice and snow, but you don't get quite as high of a profile and you don't feel them quite as much. So This was a quick look at the install process and how the Titan Chain Twist Link Snow tire chains work, how they fit on our 2021 Ford F-150.